There are three main areas that people will invest the most money in, and I want to tell you why that is. Now, the most common issues that I see people have really revolves around their ability to either attain, maintain, or retain their health, their relationships, and their money. And this also happens to be the three most lucrative coaching niches. Okay, so if we look at health, number one, weight loss. People are always searching for how to lose weight. What's the next potion? What's the next pill? What's the next exercise? What's the next diet regime? What is it that's going to help me lose weight? Okay, of course, people have all kinds of other health issues as well. And a lot of it, when we get to this at the end, a lot of it, whatever their health issue is, whether it's around their weight or any other issue, it's going to have a very similar cause to it, which is what we're going to get to. Okay, so health, right? Also, relationships. So people will spend a lot of money. You think about all of the dating apps, all of the money that people will spend, whether it's what are all the dating things now? Is it like, there's internet dating, like, is that eHarmony? I don't even know the names of them anymore, right? Like there was a time I was definitely on the dating apps, but it's been a while. So they've probably changed since then. And all the, you know, so there's the dating internet sites, there's the apps, there's the singles groups, there's all kinds of stuff. And if you can help people to find their ultimate partner, they're willing to pay money for that, right? Because people have a lot of problems either attaining a partner, maintaining a relationship with a partner, or retaining a relationship long term. Okay. And the other thing is money. Right, money. If you can help people attain more money or maintain their money so that once they've got it, they know what to do with it, or retain their money so that once they've got it, they don't lose it, right? And essentially, you help them keep more money, attract more money, make more money, right? They will pay money for that because these are the areas that people have the most problems with in their life. Okay, yes, there's lots of other problems, but this is known. This is facts. This is where people will most spend money to get help. And why is that? Why is that? Well, people will invest to, when it comes to the results and what they want in their life, they will invest if you can help them increase the speed in which they get their results. They'll invest if you can increase the quality of results that they can get. And they'll also invest if you can decrease the cost of getting those results to them, right? And cost could be money, but it could also be time. It could also be mental and emotional stress and strain, right? All of these are the kind of costs that could go along with it. So if you can increase the speed, increase the quality, and decrease the cost to them, they will pay for that, right? People will pay for that. And the thing, this is what's really important. We have to know that as a coach, you aren't getting your clients' results for them. Okay, this is the number one rule of coaching is that it's a do with process, right? Your clients, you can't just simply wave a magic wand, right? Your clients have to choose to take responsibility for working with you to get results because once they stop working with you, they need to be able to go about it and do it themselves. Okay, so ultimately, what we need to know is that anything as a coach, anything that you help your clients with, they could get for themselves. It would just probably take them longer. They might not get the same quality of results, and it might cost them a lot in time, money, and energy, and mental and emotional stress. Right now, I completely get why people will invest in these things because there have been times in my life that I have been 10 to 15 kilos heavier than I am now. And I felt very stuck as to how I could change that. I've had relationship issues, and no relationship of mine seemed to last longer than 4 to 5 years for me. Right. And there would be the cycle of things, and that went on. And I didn't know how to change that. I definitely invest money in that. I felt stuck about money and how much money I could make. right? When I first started my own coaching business, making six figures seemed like an impossible dream for me, right? I couldn't imagine how I could do that, right? But, in each one of these cases, I have identified that I had the problem, whether it was with my weight, whether it was with my relationships, whether it was my ability to make money. And I invested in, whatever solutions were there at the time to create a different outcome. Now, yes, the things that I invested in helped me to a point, but there was very much something that shifted that stops me from ever going back to that place. Because, there were times early on when I started losing weight that I'd go and do, light and easy, I'd go and do some kind of, whatever thing, and I'd lose weight, but then I'd put it back on again. Right? And this is really important. It's the same when I was dating, right? I would go on these apps and I'd get matched up with these amazing people, but then end up in the same kind of problem. Right. Same with money. I would, have a big cash month and then I would have a low cash month. Right. And so I'd go through these cycles because this is the thing, right? Yes, you can pay money to help solve these problems. Your clients can pay money to help solve these problems. I've paid money to help, resolve these issues. But what I'm going to talk to you about today is what is the real issue behind these problems that people have. And I know from my own perspective, absolutely for sure, that resolving these issues for myself didn't come just from gaining new knowledge. Okay, it didn't just come from gaining new knowledge. It didn't come from some magical person waving a wand that just changed my reality for me, right? It didn't come from some magic formula, strategy, potion, or pill. It came from one very important shift that I'm going to share with you. So, the one thing that happened for me to make any of these changes, and it's the same thing that will apply to you, and it's the same thing that will apply to your clients, is you have to change your self concept. Okay, your self concept. Because when I was 10 or 15 kilos heavier, my self concept is what got me to that point. Okay, when I was having failed relationships, my self concept is what was creating that. Okay, when I was making money and then not making money, my self concept was creating that. Okay. And so you can take the magic pill, you can follow the perfect strategy, you can gain some knowledge, and it might help you gain some results, right, for a short period of time. But if you don't change your self concept, you won't maintain or retain them. Okay, so if you don't change your self concept, you won't maintain whatever magic thing it is, or you won't retain those results, right? They'll come and they'll go. You'll lose weight and you put weight back on. You'll get into a relationship and then that relationship will fail. You'll get into another relationship, that relationship will fail. You'll make money and then you'll lose money, or you'll have a high cash month and then you'll have a low cash month, right? Like you'll go in these cycles because without changing your self concept, right? So people who want to lose weight, for example, if they don't change their self concept, what do? Well, they might go and do a 6-week challenge at the gym, or they might go on some special, diet, keto diet, whatever diet, and they'll lose weight. But then after that time, because it's not necessarily a easy to maintain thing that they're doing, or they haven't decided that it's going to be something that they have to maintain. They're just like, I'm going to put all this effort in for the next 6 weeks and that's going to fix my problem. Then after that period of time, right, then they go and put the weight back on again and they return to normal life. They're in the normal behavior, in the normal environment, around the same people, doing the same things. Okay. So without changing your self concept, you might have a high cash month, for example, in your business. But then, because you see there's money in your bank, you take the foot off the accelerator and then you'll just see the bank balance go straight back down, right? The very next month. Okay. Same as without changing your self concept, you might meet the person of your dreams, but within a few weeks or months, you might start finding all the reasons why you don't want to be with them or why they shouldn't be with you or why it just somehow doesn't seem right or feel right. Okay. So your current self concept is the really important thing. And this is for you and it's definitely for your clients as well. Okay. And so, sometimes this is one of the biggest fears that people have. Coaches tell me, they're like, what if I can't get them the results? This is the thing. It's not you getting them the results. It's you helping them understand what they need to do for themselves so that they will make a permanent change. And changing self concept is the key. Okay. And it's very easy to identify what your current self concept is because it will be directly reflected in your life and business. Right. So it'll be reflected, your self concept will be reflected in the types of clients that you have, the money that you make, the house that you live in, the relationships that you have, your current health, the clothes you wear, the way you spend your time, all of it. Everything that goes on in your life now is a direct reflection of your current self concept. And the important thing to remember about this is that there's no good or bad, right? There's no good or bad. There's no right or wrong unless you decide it's good or bad or right or wrong. Okay, wherever you are now and whatever you're wearing and whatever house you're in and whatever clients, money, relationships, whatever you've got, none of it's necessarily good or bad. It's only if it's what you want. Because at any time, right, you can choose something else. And we always go through these processes. So whatever you've got today, even if you're like, "Yep, I'm absolutely happy with everything in my life, everything is just fine." Um, there'll be a time because you're human that you'll decide that what you've got today isn't what you want in next week, next month, next year, next 5 years, 10 years, because things change as humans. We're generally, we're driven to grow and contribute and to experience different things, right? So there'll be a point in time where what you have right now isn't what you want. And so you can choose something else. And your self concept just changes over time anyway, right? Your self concept changes over time anyway through the course of your experiences and the environment that you're in and, all of those kinds of things. So, of course, the question then is, well, how do you change your self concept? If you've decided, well, okay, I'm looking around at my life now, and maybe there's elements about it that aren't how I want it. And like I said, it doesn't mean it's always bad. It might mean that you set some bigger goals, right? If you set some bigger goals for yourself, you'll need to change your self concept to match those bigger goals. Okay, so your health might be pretty reasonable, but maybe you want to drop a little bit more body fat percentage, or you want to increase some muscle mass, or you want to improve your flexibility, or maybe you want to increase your metabolism, or you want to be able to increase your endurance. Maybe you want to start running. Who knows? I don't want to start running. I know that for sure. My running days are over. But whatever it is that you want to do, it might be there's something else that you want to do. You need to be able to change your self concept. Okay. And so how do we do this? How do we change our self concept? This is the big question. And ultimately, there are a few layers to what it takes to change your self concept because usually it's unconscious, right? It's unconscious. Your self concept essentially is unconscious usually until you get some awareness of it. And people that have, uh, have always had good health and they've always had good relationships and they've always had money or maybe one of those things or whatever people have always been good at, always felt like they've got control of in their life, they will generally be unconsciously competent about how they have created that for themselves, right? And so it would probably be a struggle for them to try and explain how to change that self-concept or how to attain the thing that they've easily, attained and maintained and retained over time. But it's when you've gone through the experience of wanting to radically change something in your life and recreate something in your life that maybe you've been conditioned as from a child, and your clients no doubt will have this experience as well, where they've been conditioned throughout life to have a self-concept one sort of certain way, they will likely be unconscious about that. Okay. But to change it, it is a combination of being able to understand the power of your unconscious mind and your emotions and your beliefs and your values. Okay. So your values Often people think values are just these nice kind of aspirational words, but they're not. Values are literally what motivates you, even if it's what motivates you to avoid something. Okay. Values are neither good nor bad. They're just what motivates you. And if you understand all of these things and the roles that they would play, and you know how to change them, but you know how to use your unconscious mind, how to work consciously with your unconscious mind. And, the best tools that I've come across that can help you do these things are NLP, timeline therapy, hypnosis. And you also need to understand aspects of your spirituality to know that you are an unlimited being. Okay. Because if you don't realize that you're a spiritual being and that you have a connection to a greater consciousness, it's very easy to think that you're a limited human being, but you're not, you're unlimited. So you need to be able to understand how to change these things. You need to be able to recognize what is the truth of who you are, that you are an unlimited being, right? And then you need to be able to know how to use your mind to create the kind of outcomes that you want. Okay. And this is a lot of being able to use a structure of change in your mind. So, what do you focus on? What do you think about? What do you need to make sure that, like when you're visualizing, what is a properly formed visualization? Okay. There's lots of nuances to it, which, more than I can go into in this podcast. But you need to be able to understand how you can do all of these things so that you can change any part of your self concept to align with your desired outcomes moving forward. Now, I am going to be running a masterclass specifically about this Wednesday, the 4th of September at 7 p.m. Australian Central Time. And I'll be going deeper into this and sharing a technique to help you gain much more deeper insights into your own self concept and how to change it. And there's a link in the show notes that you can go to and check that out and register. And if you've missed that, if somehow you listen to this a little bit after, you'll still be able to find a link for the replay, which will be in, if you go to any of my social media pages in the bio, there will be a link that you can access the replay. But definitely come and check this out, right? Because understanding self-concept is one of the most powerful shifts that you can make. And know that it is an ongoing process, right? You'll go through processes of going, okay, this is what I want to create for myself. I'm creating it. And then you'll realize, okay, this is great. And then you'll realize, okay, do you know what? There's something else I want to create. And you go through this kind of ongoing process of being conscious of what you want, what you don't want, unconscious, conscious, unconscious in your creating and deciding and choosing what it is that you want. And so it's an ongoing process to know how to do this. And so this is why we need to understand this process, right? So you can continually do it for yourself as your wants and needs and desires and goals shift and evolve over time. Okay, so like I said, I want to go deep into this on Wednesday night, the 4th of September at 7 p.m. Australian Adelaide Central Time. And I'm going to share some techniques in that masterclass as well that you're going to be able to do during that masterclass. And it's really going to blow your mind. But anyway, my question for you this week is, what do you recognize for yourself that isn't how you'd like it to be? Right? It might be around your health, it might be around your relationships, it might be around money or your business, or it could be around anything. It doesn't really matter. All of the things, it doesn't matter what context, right, it is in your life, it's going to come back to the same kind of thing. What is it that you perceive about yourself that supports whatever it is that's not how you want in your life? What is it that you perceive about yourself that supports it to continue? Okay, because even if you recognize something that you don't want, you don't like in your life, it will continue if how you perceive yourself supports it in continuing. Right? This is a self concept. And when is now a good time to change that? All right. You, my friend, are an amazing, incredible, unlimited being, and everything is here for you. And I'll share as much as I can with you to help you along your way because, one of my favorite sayings is, we're all just walking each other home. Hope to see you Wednesday night.